afternoon, Rick. 4-4 draw with Ramsbottom last night. But before we get to that, midweek game we away at Atherton on Wednesday. Just seemed a bit thin on the ground with numbers. Was perhaps a little bit on Wednesday and ran out of steam.
Yeah, well, we're thin on the ground without a doubt. We have 5 key players missing when you add it up. Well, they're all key players, but specific game changers in Dean, Jacob, his contributions, Steve Whitley, obviously. Big Sean Kelly's not travelling yet. And who else have I missed? But yeah, we were there. And the lads did a good account of themselves, really, the lads that came in as well. I was pleasantly surprised with a couple of contributions. Young Watty and, again, James, Caddy, as I call him, he's got us the pen. But frustrating, really, that. But they're hard gigs, those, midweek, so what can we do? The pitch didn't help. It was a quagmire. And we succumbed to our own mistakes as well. So it's one of those, we could get it out of the way and we started again on this Saturday, didn't we?
Just before we went, lost Mikey come off after about 8-10 minutes on Wednesday night. How's he looking?
Yeah, he's been ongoing hamstring issues. I think he's a long-term rehab to get through a season. We just don't have the facilities and the time to do it. So he'll be out another week or so till he gets his confidence back, particularly on it. Just can't sprint. That's the problem with it. So, the soft ground aggravated Al Maitland's calf injury as well. He, on soft ground, you just go into eccentric movements when the heel drops lower than it should, and it stretched old scar tissue, made him sore. And he was sore yesterday, braved all his way through it, But we have got extensive injury list, but there's not a lot we can do about it, to be honest.
We're just turning then to yesterday, something that we haven't really seen a massive amount of. We came out the traps, as it were, absolutely flying, and had the 2 early goals.
Well, we had a bit of a meeting before. I asked the lads to get there 10 minutes before because I wanted to go through a few things, just remind them of how we are to attack. And they did. They came flying out, and we scored 2 very quick early goals, and we should have had a couple more, and we should have been out of sight. It was unfortunately Jacob didn't complete his hat trick. That would have sunk them, I think. And then we dropped off the pace a little bit, which we'd said not to, and just invited them in. And their goal was first one. We ran out of energy closing a passing routine down, and we didn't react to the rebounded shot. And it was a bit of a scruffy goal in the end, that one, but not as scruffy as the other one, which from a corner, I'd said watch the 6, and he sclaffed a shot through us, and suddenly we're 2-2 with it all to do. So, and then we go on and we score what we think is a perfectly good header from Higgy, and it's ruled out for offside. The lads aren't happy with that. I haven't had any more confirmation. They said they don't think so. And then we said at half time, this is the ironic thing that really does get you go as a gaffer. Like, you say, right, come on, let's start again. Let's start well. And we go a goal down straight away. 3-2, 4-2. But then we showed a lot, we showed a lot of bottle and courage and got it back right at the death. So I was very pleased with them in the end. We had a penalty turned down that even their lads were laughing at when they were warming up down by us. And one of them went past, all honesty, he said, got away with that. And so we think got a bit of a rough end of it, but it was, it felt at the time like we'd got out of jail, and it felt like a win, getting the 4-4 draw. But on reflection overnight, and I'm sitting here now, and it's almost a day later, I feel we were a bit robbed, you know.
Well, first half we had a couple blocked on the line. You go second half we had had the goal disallowed. Second half, one's cleared off the line. Chances that perhaps just fell to the wrong person in the box. And on a different night, we had 4, could have had 6 or 7 quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately fell to Clark. He hits the ball so well, it's probably still going now. One of them just landed in Plymouth or something. But no, we did great chances, which was good. I mean, they never stopped doing the right thing. I mean, we went a bit long at times in the midsection of the second half, which was a bit annoying. But then they got the ball down and started playing some lovely combinations. The left-hand side particular, which we talked about. Jacob and Dino getting the 1-2s in and getting crosses in. And we destroyed them at times, made them look ordinary. And they are an ordinary side, Ramsbottom. I don't want to diss them, but they're not world beaters. And we should have flattened them, really. So, we did deservedly get that last second equaliser, which was hilarious, actually, in its construct. I mean, I've been laughing about it, to be honest. But there you go.
Yeah, of all the people to pop up and score it as well. The mad thing is, I mean, there was a couple of people around us who, when he went up, went, we've got a Benfica goal coming here, and we had. Yeah. And funnily enough, at the start of the season, when we were doing the player graphics for the goals, Adam said, "I want a graphics. I'm scoring this year." And
well, it's funny, little predictions, isn't it? Because I said to Jacob before the game, I said, "You'll score today," and he, all right, and he does. And then when Adam went up, I thought, what's he doing here? I said, here we go. I said, well, and I thought, well, it's worth it. I didn't quite know. We couldn't get from the linesman what the time was at the time of the added on or all that. We just lost track of it. We thought, well, it's the last throw of the dice. And lo and behold, it's he scores. So well played, good lad.
Yeah, we it seemed to be the referee didn't tell the line out until like 3 minutes into added time that there was 6 minutes added on. So for some reason indicated that there was 3 minutes, and then that got passed down to us again. And going, well, so it's 3 minutes on top of the 3 minutes we've already played.
Well, don't get me started on him. Speaking of which.
Overall, like you say, we had it last week. It was the chances that we're missing, but we're creating the chances. We've got 7 goals in 2 home games, and you feel that previously when you first came in, you said we had a bit of an issue with the home games and just not clicking, or something wasn't working. Do you think that's sort of easing as we're going on now?
Yeah, I think you miss good players, don't you? Always do. We're getting the good players back, hopefully more consistently. It was, and I don't think we. Perhaps you'll tell me, or I can't read the programme for this because the writing's so small. I need to get a massive magnifying glass. But putting the same side out repetitively has not happened. But if we can do that over these next home games and get some confidence at playing at home, and we've got to put in a performance like we did against AFC Liverpool, I think it was, with a 5-0 scoring goals, and against South Liverpool and yesterday, but without conceding the daft stuff. So we do work on it when we get a chance. I mean, it's hard to work on it with weather like this, and we've chosen Castletown, but everywhere's drenched anyway. But if we could string a few confident performances together, it will all go well. And we'll entertain, that's for sure. It's entertaining. Come and watch us and you'll get your money's worth.
So going just into next week, we've got got a week to work with the lads, because obviously I've midweek, past 2 weeks. How good is the extra days to work out what plan is going into next week against Exeter and Villa?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have some. Well, we'll get the clinic set up hopefully at Castletown tomorrow. Take the ultrasound machine down, and we can treat some injuries and see if we can get people fit again. And the players that are walking, we'll go through a few things that I want to talk about. I think we need to we refined our corners and throw-ins a bit better, but I think we need to work on defensive set pieces, and we'll have a little look, see what we can do. But it's nice to get that break. I mean, it has been tedious travelling, especially to Birmingham and that, and it's long hours on the road, and it does take its toll, you know. But we've got a nice run of games, and we'll be all right if we keep playing like that. We'll be fine. You know, at home.
Grant, well, cheers for your time this afternoon. Unless there's anything else you want to discuss before we
Well, I mean, I've got to mention, I wasn't happy with the ref. I mean, he booked me. He booked 5 of us, and the disparity was 5-0. They didn't book any of them. And if I was assessing him, I'd give him 0 out of 10, because he failed to do a mandatory booking of a yellow card for the drag back on the shirt. I think it was Kyle, and his excuse was poor. And you know, if you don't do that, book a player for pulling the shirt, you're just breaking the rules yourself. His explanation was weak. He brandished a yellow card at me like he was tasering me. And we've had him before. We had him away at my first away win, Littleland. Yeah, when he got himself knocked out nearly. And I just found, you know, and I found out since, you know, we've got 100 yellow cards this season, 5 reds, top of the league for that. And the opposition weren't happy with him either. They were fuming all through the game. And I just think there's, you know, even we go to Atherton, the linesman at Atherton spent all evening telling me and Dave Cherry and the subs to sit down, concentrating so much on that, he's missing stuff going on the pitch. And they've got to sort this out. And I did find out that, you know, the referees that come over here, and I was speaking to Brian Thomas about this before, they have their own agendas. They'll say to our linesmen, 1 week, leave it all to me. You know, I'll make all the decisions, don't get involved. Another week, the other referee will do something opposite, will say, get involved. So there are 6s and 7s with that. And, you know, this assessing, you know, bothering about trivialities all the time, about sitting down in dugouts and all this, that and the other, and getting all this admin stuff, they're taking their eye off the ball. And it's cost us, and I find out that they're getting assessed at every home game that we play. The referee knows he's getting assessed, and is that why he's over pedantic? So I'm fuming about his performance. And he got conned all afternoon by the 6. He was rolling about like he'd been shot. Do we have a sniper in the stands? It looks like it. So, you know, I just think we've got to sort this out, and we're getting the wrong end of the deal. And I'm not condoning our lads for mouthing off. And I was so frustrated. I told him he'd had a nightmare because he wouldn't speak to me, and that's fair enough. He had. Can't deny that. It's truth. And I get told when I've had a nightmare on selection and everything. But I just think it's happy days, you know, for the bureaucracy of the league, the North West Counties League, you know. 100 yellows at 15 quid a shot. Nice for a minute. Nice little earner.
Well, we've paid for a good portion of next year's Christmas party. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was poor, and I think he cost us with those decisions. And the penalty on Sean Kelly, which was blatant, his excuse for that was, oh, well, it was just a normal football contact. Oh, yeah. So normal football contact is Sean does the player, knocks the ball past him, the player fouls him, brings him down in the area. That's normal, then play on. No, it's a penalty. So, no, wrong. So, poor. So that cost us. Well, I've had me moan up about that. So we'll...
Wi-Fi's gone a little bit there.
We'll see it down and we can get. See what we can get.
Right, bro. Well, we'll see you next weekend, and cheers for your time this afternoon.